And now, live from C Nation Studios at Irwin Academy, it's the C Nation Podcast Show.
What's up, everybody? Today is Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Wednesday, April 15th. How's it going? How you feeling? How you living? How you be? You guys are all doing well. Hope you guys have been practicing. This video, I'm going to be honest, alright? A lot of you are probably going to find this video boring. So if you do not want to watch it, I encourage you to toughen it out and watch it anyways. Excuse me. I was snacking on some M&Ms. So, why, Mr. C? What is this going to be? Are you going to lecture us for an hour? No, actually, we're going to dive into some advanced theory. Music theory. Dun, dun, dun. I don't have a... Wait, do I? Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways. Alright, so... what is this theory going to be about? Well, we're going to look at these fancy things called piano chords. And it's not actually just piano chords. It's actually chords in general. Okay? We're going to break it down. Because back when I first saw chords in notation form, so like stuff like this, okay? When I first saw stuff like that, notes in a chord form, I freaked out and I was scared of them. Why? Because sometimes it's hard enough just reading two notes at once, if I'm being honest. Okay, and I got over my fear with the help of my teacher, and I learned how to break this down. Okay, and something really easy about it, like depending on the situation that you're looking at chords, sometimes it has the name of the chord written right on top of it, and that's called a chord chart. Okay. Right here on the top of this paper, it has the name of the chords written on top. And I have a bunch of scribbles because, you know, I just taking notes and stuff. But right here, here's the notation. Okay? You have 4 whole notes right there, 4 music notes. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But first, what I want to do is I want to reference something that is in the back of our classroom that I have talked about and you might not have really paid much attention to. Okay, now obviously the one in the classroom looks cooler, but this one is a lot better. This is the circle of fifths, okay? Now, if you're familiar with the posters in my classroom, I do have a lot of music stuff all over the classroom. This one is right there by the first little room, right by the window. And it has, like, clouds and stuff on it, okay? This is a circle of fifths. So, the cool thing about this one, my teacher actually made it, and if you're going this way, I believe... it's the circle of fifths. And if you go backwards, it's a circle of fourths. Okay, what does this mean, Mr. C? Well, if you start at the top on the C, and you're going to go to the next note, the circle of fifths, this way, okay? Going just like a clock would spin. That's called clockwise. Those notes are actually a fifth apart, meaning 5 steps. Okay, so the first one is C, and the second one is G. C, D, E, F, G. Next one is G to D. G, A, B, C, D. And D to A. D, E, F, G, A. All right? Everything is a fifth from each other. Okay? That will help. You'll start to understand it a little bit better once we start getting into chords. Okay? And the other way is fourths. So it's 4 steps. So if we're going counterclockwise, we're going backwards from the way a clock spins. From C to F, you go C, B, we're about, we will worry about it later, okay? Because right now, we're focusing on the fifths. So, here we go. Chords. And I have a little whiteboard. I'm so excited I get to use this now. Okay, so, I'm going to draw an ugly staff, because if you're my student, you know that I can't draw to save my life. And actually, that was pretty good. Okay, so we have our staff. And remember the staff. This is a measure of music. It's one measure. Why? Because you got the bar lines going down. The staff is these vertical lines. Okay, there's 5 of them in sheet music. Okay, so we have our staff. And I'm going to put, let's start easy. I'm going to put a G on here. If you're bass clef, then this note is going to look like a B flat, I believe. So, just try to follow along. There's a G. Okay, there's our G. All right, now, what a chord is a chord is a group of notes. Sometimes you might hear that being called a triad, that are played simultaneously. They're played at the same time, and they make a pretty sound. So if you're one of my guitar people, and you know some of your chords, then you're already ahead of everybody else. You know, there's a G chord. Oh, it's pretty. Here's an A chord. Oh, here's a D chord. D and a C. La. Okay, cool. For horn players, we can't really do that. We can play one note at a time. For example, technically that's a chord, but I can't play more than one note at the same time. Can't do that on a horn. Now that's why orchestras and bands have more than one instrument. And in a professional setting, like how we try to make work in our classroom, if we're just talking about saxophones, for example, okay, when I give you guys sheet music, and some of you guys are already experiencing this. Some of you have saxophone part 1, some of you have saxophone part 2, trumpet 1, trumpet 2, clarinet 1, clarinet 2, okay? The different parts harmonize with each other, and sometimes when saxophone 1 is playing a G, saxophone 2 might play a B or a D, and there's a chord right there. So it happens. Cool? Cool. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, losing my stuff. The G. Okay? So, in order to build a major chord, and for you fancy people that already know chords and you're really picky and stuff, we're going to be focusing on major 7th chords because I want to add 4 notes instead of 3. Cool? Cool. Major 7 chords. All that means is, for now you guys are probably interested, what does that mean? Okay. Like how I talked about with the chord charts. It has the name of the chord right on top. Okay, it says something right here. You might not be able to see it that great. It says G Maj 7. Okay. What that means is, and I'm going to write it right here, G Maj 7. See that? My ugly handwriting. That's supposed to be an A. It doesn't look like it from here. G major 7. Okay? That is the name of this chord. So what that means is you're going to have a G chord, and it's going to be a major 7. Okay? Just stick with me if you don't understand. This is just little bits of information that you need to know. Okay? So, the chord. Okay? In these major chords, a typical major chord where you're not going to change anything special about it, we're in the key of G. And let me make sure that this is known. All right, so we have a F sharp. I'm going to put a sharp sign because y'all know that I talk about key signature. Some of you guys still don't get it. Some of you guys do. Okay, now this says we're in the key of G. Why? Because in my music, I have one sharp that is going to be an F. Remember we talked about this? I'll have to make another video. I'll do some more theory videos, and I'll try to make them engaging. So, because we have one sharp, well, that means we're in the key of G. Okay? That means we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and a high G again. Okay? That's our scale. Remember in the previous video, we're looking at scales, G major scale, stuff like that? Okay? Well, yeah, there you go. And soundboard. Okay. In order to build a chord, we want notes that are usually a third away from each other. Okay? So the next note that we're going to add on top of this is going to be a third away. Okay? So we're just going to go through. We're going to start with our G. So G. And then the next note in the scale is A. And then the third step of the scale is B. B. Okay, Mr. G, how did you do that? Okay, we're doing a G scale because this is in the key of G, and we're starting on a G. Okay, this note right here is an ugly looking G. If you don't know that, just believe that I'm right. Cool? All right, this is a G. Okay, so let's add our B. That's going to be very easy because you have G, A, B. Wow, that's a B right there. On that line, any note on that line is a B. Okay, so now we have what's going to sound like this. And I'll use my guitar. Okay? Right here. Okay. So, I have a G right here. Third fret of the E from my guitar players if you want to follow along. And a B is A2, A string second fret. Okay? So I have a G and I have a B. If I play them together, it's going to sound like this. Cool, huh? Sounds pretty. We're just building chords. All right? So, the fifth always sounds good. And the fifth is what's called a dominant chord, but we'll worry about that later, okay? So, the fifth, we can either start from G and count up 5. We can start from the B and count 3 because I said these are all a third away from each other. This is a major chord, a major 7th chord. Or we can look at the circle of fifths. Oh my gosh. And what's the fifth of a G? A D. How do I know that? Because 5 steps from G is D. These are all 5 steps away from each other when you're going clockwise. Remember that? Cool. All right. So let's add a D to our chord. Okay? So you have G. 1, 2, 3. B. 1, 2, 3. There's your D. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. You have a G chord. This is a G chord. Okay? 3 different sounding notes. If you, for some reason, have like a piano at home, or you have brothers and sisters or cousins at your house, and they all play an instrument, and they all play the same instrument as you, like let's say 3 of you are flute players, then one of you would play a G, one of you would play a B, and the other one would play a D, and you'd have a chord. If you're a piano player, this is already built into what I've taught you in Rock Band. Thumb, middle finger, pinky. Oh, that's a chord. Okay, and I have my melodica right here. Love using this thing for videos. Oh my goodness, it's very challenging. Okay. And some of the notes are starting to come off from the last video. So, G, right? Where's my G? Here's a G. Little finger is on a B. Pinky is on a D. Let's do it lower. Sounds better. G. Oh, G. B is in boy. D is in dog. Sweet, huh? Okay, guitar, Rock Band people. I mean, that's still Rock Band, but you know. G, B, and your D is the next open string. Oh. When you play them together, cool. If you know open chords in your guitar player, what's cool is these notes are built in. The first string closest to my face, if you're playing a G chord, you know, one of these, you have G, B, D, G, which is also open, and a B, and another G. There you go. Cool, huh? And that's just the names of the strings that are open. So check it out. Let me show you that way you can see. Okay, I have my middle finger on the 3rd fret of E, and that's a G. I have my first finger on the 2nd fret of A, and that's a B as in boy. The next string is open, and that's a D already. It's an open D. The next string after that is G. And the next string after that is B. And the last one, my finger is on the 3rd fret of E. So you have G, B, D, D, G, B, G. And that makes your chord right there. Okay? That's all. These 3 different notes are being played on 6 different strings. So you have like 2 G's, 3 G's, you have 2 B's, and a D. Okay? And that's just what's happening on the guitar. You made a chord. Okay? Horn players, I just showed you. Okay?
Knock, knock. Who's there? Shh.
Alright. I did 4 notes, sorry. So you have your G, B, and D. Well, Mr. C, why does the saxophone sound different from the guitar? Because horns are in different keys. Okay? Guitar is in the key of C. The alto saxophone is in the key of E flat. So if I play a G on guitar and a G on the saxophone, they're going to sound different because this instrument is made in a different pitch. Okay? So here's a G on the saxophone. And here's a G on the guitar. They don't sound the same. Okay, this instrument is in a different pitch. Flute, piano, guitar, ukulele, trombone, they're all in the key of C. So, okay, I've said that a couple times. So, this right here is our G chord. Okay, G major. We can put major. You don't usually see that though. But we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to make it a G major 7. Okay, how do we do that? We're going to add another note to play. Okay, the 7th step of the scale. Okay, if I write out the scale right here on my board, let's see. Ah, my lid fell. Ugh. Okay, so if we're writing G scale, right? Okay, starts on a G. So let's write G. Okay, look right here. Maybe you guys can see it. Woo! All right, cool. So I got a G. I'm gonna write my G right here. G. Okay. What comes next? Well, H. Wait a minute. No. There's no H in music. After G, it goes right back to A and it starts all over again. Okay, so then the next note is A. Okay. Comes next? Well, now we're starting all over in the ABCs, right? B. C. D as in dog. E. F. And G. Okay? Some of you probably already see something. I'm going to spoil it. No spoilers. But I'm going to talk about that. Okay? There's something that's not right about this scale. There's a pattern that is followed for every scale. Every scale. Okay? Now, a major scale has a certain pattern compared to some of the fancier scales, like a half whole diminished scale. Okay? But you don't know, don't worry. Don't worry, okay? A scale always follows a pattern. Okay? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Mr. C, what does that mean? Okay. This comes down to piano. Alright? Check it out. Shush, guitar. Okay? This is my G right here. G. Okay? So if I'm going a whole step up from the G, one whole step is the next white key. If it was a half step, it would be the next key immediately over, and that would be a black key. Okay? But it's not. It's a whole step. So a whole step is, well, duh, 2 halves. Half, half. Or you could just go whole step. See that? Okay, watch carefully. Start on the G. Whole step, half step. Why is that a half step, Mr. C? No black key. You see that? There you go. I knew it. There's no black key between the B and the C. There is no B sharp or C flat, technically. Okay? If somebody says play C flat, well, then then you play a B. If somebody says play a B sharp, well, then you play a C. I mean, you can just write C, but there's just different circumstances and instances where they might do that, okay? But you ain't got to worry about that, okay? When you get older, you worry about that. You keep playing music, you'll see some crazy music one day, and then it'll make sense. Okay, so let's start over. Here's my G. Whole step. Whoopsh. Good. Whole step. Whoopsh. Half step. Whoopsh. Another whole step. Whoopsh. Another whole step. Whoopsh. Another whole step. Whoopsh. See that? And then a half step. Takes you back to G. Okay? So we have to have this is an F sharp. This one right here is an F sharp. So in order to make the scale correct, you gotta have the F sharp. Which is why I put the sharp sign right there. See that? Okay. I'm gonna explain that again. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G makes up our G scale. G scale, okay? So G, A, B is in boy. That was whole step. Look at whole step, half step. Why is it a half step? No black key. Okay? Whole step, whole step. We have to do a whole step right here, but there's no black key. So you have to count 2 keys. 1, 2. You see that? Okay? And if there was if we were playing like a D, will a D scale work? Let's try it. Let's use a D scale, okay? So let's start on a D. Here's my D. Okay? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. I'm following the same pattern, okay? And I will write it down right here if you guys want to try to do this on your own. Right there, okay? Whole step, and I mix it up all the time. So starting on the note, you go a whole step up, then you go another whole step up, then a half step. Then you go another whole step, then another whole step, one more whole step, and a half step. And then it takes you right back to the note you're on. That's a scale that we play. Okay? If I was playing this scale, it would sound like this. I'm going to not hold the melodica. I did a little chord at the end, okay? If I did not play the F sharp, it will sound like this. Okay, it sounds a little off, okay? That's something to talk about later. But I wanted to add one more note to this. Lucky. The 7th step. Now that we figured out what the 7th step is and what it has to be, okay? It has to be an F sharp. It cannot be a regular F because that's something completely different. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and technically that's 1 or 8. Well, this is what I did. I put numbers. You should try this, okay? Especially, okay, my 6th graders right now, my 5th graders, all of you. If you know this stuff and someone tries to like prove that they're better at music than you throw some theory at people, they get scared all the time. So easy. Okay? Learn this stuff. You never know when you might need it. You never know. Trust me. Okay? So, the G is the first step in the scale. A is the second. B is the third. Remember? C is the fourth. D is the fifth. Remember. Okay? 6 is E. The 7th is F sharp. And the G is the 1. Sometimes that's the 8. Okay? You can put 8. I put 1 just because most of it comes down to preference, okay? So I want this chord. I want a G major 7. How do I do that? Well, I need to add a 7th, a major 7th to the chord. This is a major 7th, okay? If it did not have that sharp sign on it, it would be a minor 7th, okay? When you have something that's minor, you lower it by 1/2 a step, okay? So if I lowered this F by 1/2 a step, it would just be the F sharp by 1/2 a step. It would just be a regular F, okay? Now this would be a minor 7th, okay? And you would see M-I-N or minor M-I-N-O-R, okay? But we don't want to worry about that right now, okay? We just want a major 7th chord. So we just write our scale out. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, okay? Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, okay? Right here, The dots that I'm putting are the half step. Okay? Just so you can see. Starting here, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Cool? So we just need to add, where's it? This note to our chord. And it becomes a G major 7 chord. So let's add our F sharp, okay? G, B, D. Next one is E. Here's our F right there. Okay? You can add it down here too if you want to. If you're used to seeing notes on the lower end, trumpets and clarinets and stuff, you can add it down here. Actually, that's a E. That's not an F. Okay. You can add it right here if you prefer. Okay, you can do that. It still works. Now I dropped my marker. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Okay, anyways, but I don't want to confuse people, so I'm going to erase one. But you do what is easier for you. If you're used to seeing notes on the lower end of the staff, like I said, trumpets and clarinets and stuff like that, then go ahead and write on the lower part. Okay, if you ain't messing with the high notes yet, don't worry about it. So, G, A, G, B, D, F sharp. This now is a G major 7th. There you go. You've just built a chord. Congratulations. So, how would this sound? Okay. If I wanted to do a G major 7 chord on guitar, let me see if I can. I can do it. It's might sound a little weird because I don't think I've ever played a G major 7 on guitar. Ooh, has a nice fiddle. Here's your G major. G major 7. Major. Major 7. Cool, huh? It has a nice little ring to it. These chords, they all sound different. They all give a different vibe to them. Okay? Some of them, like, I don't think I've ever played a G major 7 chord on guitar until right now. So, congratulations, you witness history. Mr. C played a new chord on guitar. Haha. Okay? On piano, melodic and stuff like that, it'll sound like this. I might need another hand. So G, G major, major 7. That's the difference. That F sharp. Let's do it on the higher end. Okay, there you go. And saxophone. We cannot play chords, but we can break them down. Any horn player, trumpet, clarinet. Okay, we're all in the same boat. Okay, there you go. Once again. Okay, why is this useful to know? Mr. C, what's the point of this? Well, it depends on what you're going to do with it. You could do a lot with this, honestly. I hit myself in the face. Piano players, guitar players, being able to read chords will take you places. I will tell you that right now. Straight up. This will take you places. Okay? When I show those videos at the beginning of the year of all those studio musicians that work for Nintendo and they make the live tracks for all the video games and stuff like that, they don't just sit around and be like, okay, guys, let's play a G and F and C, and then you're going to do guitar solo, and then there's going to be a cool drum part, and then there's going to be a violin and a banjo. Everyone is reading sheet music, including the drummer. You've seen it, because I point it out every year. It's a big deal. This will take you places, guitarists, piano players, all you guys. Okay? It's important to know. If you ever want a job one day in a studio, a serious one, when they need you, they're going to hand you music. I need you to play this. A composer is going to hand you music. I want you to do this, okay? This is something that you need to know. For horn players, for people that can't play chords, at once, you can't play all these notes at one time, this is important to know because this will help you make your soloing sound so much better, okay? in a lot of the music that I have, I'll show you right now. This is a song that was originally made by, I believe, Miles Davis and Cannonball Adderley, some really cool jazz dudes. It's called Autumn Leaves. Check it out. There's a lot of different versions of this. But as you can see, I have saxophone music in the measures, and right on top, I have the chords. So, if for some reason I was playing this, like I was in school and we were playing this, and the teacher's like, Mr. C, take a solo at the beginning. Okay, I know the chords that the band that is playing with me are using, the piano, the bass, the guitar, and all that. This is all the chords that everyone is following in the song. I'm sorry, I can't see my face, so I can't see what you're looking at. Okay? This says these notes are going to sound the best. And it's not just it doesn't even start on the root. It doesn't even start on a G. This song is in the key of G, but it doesn't start. That first measure is actually an A. And then a D, which is the fifth of the G. And then the G. Look on the bottom. I have Roman numerals on the bottom of the music. A 2, 2 I's. A V, which means 5. And a 1. That means 2, 5, 1. And look what it says on the top. A, D, G. Oh, it's all connected. I know, huh? Okay. So I can mess with an A chord. There you go. Can you see it? I can mess with an A chord, a D chord, and a G chord in these measures. And it'll sound even better than if I was just to play a G, to mess with the G scale the whole time, because the song has one sharp, so it's going to be a G. I mean, you can. There's technically no rules to soloing, but if you're going to solo, you want to sound good, and you want it to sound cool, and you want everybody to be impressed, right? If not, you can just play one note the whole time. You can play a G the whole time in a song that's in the key of G for a solo. Wow, he played one note. It's up to you, okay? Chords. And when it comes down to something like this, when it says major 7, oh, that means they're adding in that extra note. Maybe I should highlight that note. I should make sure that I hit this special note right here that they're adding on, okay? It's called a guiding tone. This is my guiding tones, G, B, D, and F sharp. If I can hit those notes in that measure of my solo, it will sound better compared to me just messing around with the scale. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay? Because I'm erasing it now. So yeah, and there's chords for everything. I mean, you know, like, you can figure out chords on your own now. Some of you that are doing jazz in the sixth grade, I believe you have all the chords written on top of the music. If not, it's in the solo section, okay? Our guitar player and our bass player, they have the chords on the top of their music. And we should get a piano player. That'd be kind of cool, huh? Anyways, yeah, for those of you doing jazz, look at your music. Check out the solo section. For sure, I know the chords are written on top. Okay? Do I have one of the books right here? I don't have one of the books right here. They're somewhere else. Trying to get organized. Sorry. So, anyways, it's important to know to learn these chords, okay? And you know what? I am gonna go grab a jazz book. So, you guys sit tight, and I'll be right back. And we're back. A dinosaur story. Okay, so, and I'm back.
Lucky.
Okay, so I have a tenor sax jazz book. This is what we use for the 6th grade. Standard of Excellence Jazz Ensemble Method. And I'm looking for Jammin' with Charlie. Okay, this is Jammin' with Charlie, for those of you that lost your music or whatever. Okay, this is the tenor sax part. Okay, and we got... ba 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 da, rest ba 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 ba. Yeah, I remember that song. Anyways, if you could see right here, top of the music, first line, the first system of notes. We have the notes, okay? We don't have anything on top. But if you look down right here, measure 43, where it says open for solos. Look at that. I have a chord. And whenever you see a chord and the next measure doesn't have a chord written in it, see these three measures? Well, that means you're going to stay on that same chord. So that's a C7, okay? And this is the tenor part. You guys will have different chords, okay? So a C7. This is also a C7. This is also a C7. This is also a C7. Then it comes to an F7, okay? There you go. It changes the chord right there. And then it comes back to a C for two measures. C7, then G7, F7, C7, and another C7. And then it repeats. You see that? That's where you want to know the chords. If you want to improve your solos, okay, well, let's look at that. I know this video is getting kind of long. I promise I will take care of this fast, okay? So, we want that first chord for the tenors was a C7, right? It was a... Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes, okay. C major, C7, okay? It's not a major. C7. It's not a major 7, okay? So we want to flat the 7th. Because if we wanted the major 7, if we wanted the regular 7, it would say major 7. Sometimes you see a triangle. It's kind of weird. Okay, anyways, so I'm going to write my staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Cool. All right. And my first one was better. All right, to make a C chord, to find these, we start with our C. Okay, where's the C? Right there. It's the ugliest one yet. There's our C. Okay? We're in the key of C. No sharps, no flats. In the key signature. Okay? Okay, so what's a third from the C? C, D, E. Okay? Let's write our E. Bam, there you go. We're building a chord. Okay, let's go. What's a fifth from C? Okay, C, D, E, F, G. There's our C chord. Bam. Okay, you can also put, you have an E, right? So you can do the lower end. There's your E, and there's your G. Okay, if you're not used to singing the high notes, bam. See, C, G, and E. There's your chord. Okay? All right. And I'm going to stick with the lower notes this part because I don't want to go too high on the staff. Okay? So, if we want to make this a C7 chord, on the back, let's write it out. So we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Okay? Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So I don't have any sharps and no flats, okay? So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then there's the 8. I'll do 8 this time. It doesn't matter because they're both the same note. The only difference is pitch. One's a higher octave, one's a lower one, okay? All right, so we want to have a C7, okay? So this should be a flat. Bam. Okay. All right. Let me just check something out real quick. Check your chords. All right. So.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal. Woo! Shake and bake.
What's the 7th step of our scale? B. Let's add a B flat. B. Flat. That is an ugly flat. Okay. There we go. That's what our chord will look like. So the notes you want to mess with, if you want a solo, C, E, G, and B flat. Okay? And I will show you. Right here. C, E, G, B flat. You can go low too. Those four notes. That's it. That's it. And you do the same thing with the other notes. Okay? Some of you will have different notes. Some of you are not notes. Some of you will have, well, yeah, you'll have different notes because it just depends on the chord. So check it out. Break it down. Chords are actually a lot more fun and not so scary once you know how to kind of mess with them a little bit. All right. So this is officially the longest video. Guys, you are holding on to your instruments until May. So practice, okay? We're still going to find a way to turn instruments back at the end of the school year somehow. But until then, keep practicing. Keep having fun. Keep making music. Make sure to share the channel with all your friends at school. Okay, let's get this YouTube channel. Let's get our subscribers up. I'm not trying to accomplish any goal other than making sure all my students know about these videos. So that way they can keep practicing. Okay? So share it. You have cousins that have instruments and they don't have music, tell them about these videos. They can learn something. Why not? Let's all learn together, guys. All right. And sorry, I'm just making sure that my video doesn't cut off early. Share it with your friends. Keep a lookout. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. And make sure that bell button is also pushed. That way you get notifications of whenever a new video comes out. All right, you can keep in touch with all these videos going on. I tried a live video the other day, and it was pretty cool because anybody can join, but you only see me, and you guys can type me questions. You can chit-chat with each other. And I hung out with a couple of the students. We were online for about an hour, and it was pretty cool. So keep a lookout for the next live video. I'll try to do a live one once a week, okay? And if you have any questions or problems, one of the students actually had a problem with her instrument, and she let me know during that live spot, and I helped her out. So, you can also join the Remind page that I made just for the distance learning. Let's see if I can find it. Show people how to join. So get your tablet or your phone, whatever. Send a text message to 81010, and in the text message you put @IA online. There it is. You can pause the screen and you can see, okay? And then you can join a Remind, and you can get a hold of me if you have any other problems or questions too. And I definitely appreciate any feedback. If you guys want to see something, I'm going to be doing some more lesson videos, learning songs. I got a whole bunch of them right here on my computer that I'm ready to start dishing out. So I just wanted to get something special for some of you guys who are itching to learn something new on their instrument. So I hope you enjoyed this theory lesson video, guys. Take care, be good, help your families out. You're all my kids. I miss you guys. Hope you're doing well. And my beard's starting to grow back. It's kind of funny because when I cut it, all these videos I do, you could just see it growing back little by little by little. All right, so have fun. Take care. Don't stop the music. Keep rocking. Peace.